Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Source, and I'm having a good one. Having a great Friday night. The games are still going on while I'm recording this, but I think I'm 5-1 in bets so far, so I'm in high spirits. That'll be back-to-back great nights. I'll let you know how it turns out in the final edit. I'll put it on the screen. But let's move on to Saturday. I'm just going to go through 3 games here. We're doing the live show at 11 a.m. Eastern time, so we'll go through all 15 then, but I keep making the mistake of staying up till like 4 a.m. getting this video out with 15 games in it, only to wake up 4 hours later and talk about them. So we picked 3. We're going to go through 3, and then on the live show, we'll go through all 15. Let's go.
Welcome to The Source. The Source. Source. Hey, get the Source.
First up, Cubs are in Yankee Stadium again. We got Drew Smyly on the mound pitching against Gerrit Cole. Yanks open up as heavy favorites here as expected. Yankees minus 195 to open up. Total opens up at 8. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. According to the model, we got a slight lean on the Yankees here. 3-2 Yanks after 5 innings. Final score 5-4 Yanks. So like I said, Gerrit Cole is on the mound, and here are his numbers since April 22nd. That would be his last 14 starts. He's got a 3.43 ERA, a 3.92 FIP, and a 4.20 expected FIP. Now, you might be wondering why I put this graphic up. 14 starts is such a random number, and these stats aren't good or bad. They're pretty on par for Gerrit Cole. The reason I'm showing you his numbers in his last 14 starts, look at his opponents here. How many easy starts has Gerrit Cole had over the last 3 months? The Cardinals, the Rangers, the Mariners, the Mets, Red Sox, Dodgers, Padres, Orioles, Blue Jays, Rays, Guardians, Rangers, Blue Jays. Out of those 14 starts I just named, do you want to know how many of those teams rank in the bottom 13 of Major League Baseball against right-handed pitching? Just one. It's Cleveland, and they've been hot recently. They're towards the bottom of the league of what happened early in the season. They've been a tough opponent to pitch against, so I don't think there's a righty starter in the league that has had a tougher schedule than Gerrit Cole so far. Well, I got some good news for you, Gerrit Cole, because you're in a nice looking spot here. At home against a Cubs lineup that seems to have fallen off a cliff recently against right-handed pitching. Here are the Cubs numbers against righties in the last 7 days. 21st in OPS, 21st in WRC+. This looks like the perfect spot for Gerrit Cole to pitch a great game. On the other side, we've got Drew Smyly, and my man has been struggling. Look at his last 7 starts. He's got a 6.49 ERA, a 1.85 WHIP. Both FIP and expected FIP numbers are super high. Drew Smyly's really going through it right now. And you would think this Yankees lineup would be a sight for sore eyes for Drew Smyly, but look at the Yankees numbers against lefties recently. In the last 14 days, the Yankees are 6th in OPS, 6th in WRC+ versus left-handed pitching. Here are the last 4 lefty starters to pitch against the Yankees. Now, Jordan Montgomery threw a gem, but Montgomery's been blanking everybody. He's one of the hottest pitchers in baseball. Well, he just got hurt tonight. But Montgomery's been super hot. Before that, they rocked Liberatore, they rocked Hogan Harris, and they rocked J.P. Sears. Now, I know you might think, hey, those aren't really threatening names, but neither is Drew Smyly right now. He hasn't been pitching well at all. I fully expect the Yankees to score runs off Smyly in this one. Obviously, we know how solid the Yankees bullpen has been for the last month and a half. Actually, coming up on 2 months now, the Yankees bullpen has been really solid. So I think I'm comfortable laying the 1.5 here. For now, I'm going to say Yankees minus 1.5 at plus 115 next game. Seattle at Houston. Brian Wu pitching against Framber Valdez. This series is going to be good all weekend. Astros open up as favorites here, minus 145 at home. Total opens up at 7. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. According to the model, we got a slight lean on Houston here. 2-1 Astros after 5 innings. Final score 4-3 Astros. So I want to start off with Brian Wu's numbers specifically against right-handed bats because they're insane. These numbers are truly excellent. Check this out. Against right-handed bats this season, he's got a 145 WOBA, an 0.60 WHIP, and an 0.94 FIP. In case you're unfamiliar with FIP, the leaders in baseball for starting pitchers usually chill in the mid-2s. The leaders in the league, and against right-handed bats, Brian Wu is an 0.94. Those numbers are truly obscene. Right-handed bats just cannot touch this kid at the plate so far this season, and the reason that data is especially important in this matchup, Houston regularly starts 8 righties in their lineup. I know this Astros lineup has been pretty good recently, but this is a dream matchup for Brian Wu splits-wise. And by the way, this kid Wu's been pitching good as hell. In his last 5 starts, he's got a 2.36 ERA, an 0.94 WHIP, and a 3.40 FIP. Brian Wu's been absolutely dealing. And speaking of the Astros bats, now we know they've been good. That being said, look at their numbers in the last 14 days compared to the numbers from the last 7. 4th in WOBA, 4th in OPS in the last 14 days, but in the last 7 days, they dropped to 13th and 13th. So they're still hitting, but that insane heater they were on about a week and a half ago, that only lasted about 5 or 6 days. The last 3 right-handed starters to pitch against Houston, sure, they got to Chase Anderson, who hasn't. I mean, we could round up 9 of us to go out there and put up 3 or 4 runs on Chase. But George Kirby pitched a great game against them, and Eovaldi pitched an absolute gem. I think Brian Woo's going to pitch a good game here. Now, on the other side, we've got Framber Valdez, though, and he has truly owned this Seattle team. The current Mariners lineup is hitting just .222 lifetime off Valdez with a .597 OPS. Framber Valdez on his career, he's made 9 starts lifetime. He's 5-0 with a 1.94 ERA and a 1.03 whip against Seattle. And if you look specifically at his last 2 home starts against the Mariners, he's got a 1.93 ERA and an 0.71 whip. So yeah, he's pitched really well against Seattle over the course of his career, certainly at home. Now, there is some good news for Seattle, though. Those last 2 home games I was just talking about where he has the 1.93 ERA, Seattle won both the games. So yeah, Framber's been dealing, but the Mariners still won those 2 games. And we got some more good news for Seattle here. They've been hitting the shit out of lefties on the road recently. The last 5 lefty starters to pitch against the Mariners on the road, now Seattle on the road, just combined for 18 innings pitched, an 8.50 ERA and a 2.24 whip. And we could bring up Seattle's day and night splits when it comes to hitting left-handed pitching. Now, I know some people aren't crazy about day and night splits, but the Mariners are really significant here. For whatever reason, the Mariners just don't hit lefties during the day, but against lefties at night in the last 30 days, they're 3rd in WRC+, 3rd in OPS, 4th in WOBA. I think Seattle might grab a couple runs off Framber in this one. I really don't trust the Mariners bullpen at all right now. That being said, I don't really trust Houston's either, so I think at the plus 130 price, I'm down to take a shot on the Mariners. I'll say Seattle or pass for right now. I'll let you know what I end up doing on the live show tomorrow at 11 a.m. Next game. Atlanta at Tampa, Braves at Rays. Spencer Strider's on the mound. He's pitching against Taj Bradley. Braves open up as minus 140 favorites on the road. It's crazy that there's a team opening up as minus 140 favorite on the road against a team with one of the best records in baseball. But here we are. Total opens up at 7.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. According to the model, we're looking at 5-3 Braves after 5 innings. Final score 8-4 Braves. You guys remember a few weeks ago on this channel when I was like, yo, guys, we got to keep an eye on Taj Bradley. He's going to be a good pitcher to bet on soon. Well, I'm thinking I may have been way off on that one. On his last 5 starts, he's got an 8.02 ERA and a 1.73 whip. Kid's really struggling. The 7 starts before those 5 were looking solid as hell. Look at that 280 FIP. I thought this man was going to start dominating, being a bit of a swing and miss there on my part. I certainly don't expect him to turn things around here. I mean, he's pitching against the Braves. This lineup's been absolutely nuts, as I'm sure you know. They were held to just 2 runs last night, but who cares? They still won. As you can see, Atlanta's first in basically every single offensive category against right-handed pitching in the last 14 days. Look at the numbers from the last 7 righty starters to pitch against the Braves, and this is including the Tyler Glasnow game from earlier tonight. 30 innings pitched, a 9.30 ERA, a 1.87 whip, 3.9 home runs per 9. Yeah, I don't have a ton of faith in Taj Bradley here. On the other side, we got Spencer Strider on the mound, and this dude's just all the way back. In his last 3 starts, he's got a 1.83 ERA, a 1.02 whip, and a 1.56 FIP. A 1.56 FIP is crazy. He's on a mission right now, starting to look like the Spencer Strider we were seeing back in April and early May to start the season. If you remember, if you rewind 3-4 starts ago, his previous 2 starts before his last 3, he had a 13 ERA, a 5.0 home runs per 9, a 2.11 whip. He was really struggling, but those were clearly outliers. And what do I keep saying? This Tampa lineup just isn't the same. It's not producing the same as it was earlier in the season. Look at the Rays numbers against righties in the last 7 days. 22nd in WRC+, 22nd in OPS, 25th in WOBA. This Rays lineup just isn't producing like that right now. I don't see any reason in hell to try and step in front of this Braves train. I'm going to bet Atlanta again. I don't know if I'm just going to lay the juice on the money line. I might lay the 1.5. I'll let you know on the live show, but I will definitely be betting the Braves in this one in some way. If anything changes with the bets I just gave out in this video, I'll let you know on Twitter. So give me a follow there if you're interested in that. Like I've mentioned, live show tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time. We'll go through all 15 games, make our final decisions. Toast will be there. I can't remember if I have a guest lined up. It might just be me and Toast. I'll let you know. 11 a.m. If you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. If you're interested in the final tickets, the VIP chat, the top bets, that kind of stuff, head over to KyleKirms.com. You can find all that information there. Saturday baseball, and we're coming in hot, man. Just had 2 great days in a row. Let's keep it rolling. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you on Twitter.